After a long summer break, Formula One is ready to go with its normal schedule after this weekend. So everything is ready to hold the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort in greater style, and the Orange Army will give a warm welcome to their local hero, Max Verstappen. If everything goes well after the summer break, Verstappen will surely join the three-time world champion clan at the end of this season. Both Verstappen and Red Bull were in a great rhythm, maintaining a record-breaking winning streak, and they are surely eyeing at extending that streak one step further. But nothing is predictable after a summer break, as the teams that did their homework properly may come with some surprises. So this is our pre-race review ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix weekend, and stay with us till the end to learn what you need to know ahead of the race in Zandvoort. But before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. The history of racing in Zandvoort is dated back to the late 1930s, when motorsport aficionados wanted to organise a motorsport event based in Zandvoort. For the first race in 1939, public roads were used, offering a street race status to the race. Race organisers enjoyed huge success in their first attempt and decided to build a permanent circuit. However, the plans were a little bit disturbed after the beginning of the Second World War, and fans had to wait until 1949 to see a racing event on the newly built permanent circuit. Zandvoort got a position in the Formula One calendar for the first time in 1952, and Grand Prix events were held there until 1985. After a decade-long absence from the F1 calendar, it returned back to the Formula One schedule in 2020 as a replacement of Circuit Paul Ricard. The circuit has gone through some considerable modifications since the 1970s to improve the track conditions as well as the safety concerns. The latest modifications were done before the returning of Formula One to the circuit in 2020. However, the event was not held as scheduled in 2020 with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, and race organisers didn't want to hold the race without the participation of fans. Basically, Zandvoort is famous as a circuit made up of fast and challenging curves formed by the natural dunes, and it can be identified as one of the shortest circuits in the modern Formula One calendar. The total length of the circuit is 4.259 kilometers, and drivers have to go through 14 challenging curves within one lap. With the absence of long straights like in Monza or Spa, the recorded top speed of this iconic circuit is limited to 305 kilometers an hour. You can't find endless asphalt-covered runoff areas here, and only the merciless gravel beds are positioned in places that need to take off the pace of the challengers that run outside the permitted track area. That means the tiny mistake of a millisecond is enough to ruin the whole race, as the gravel beds will never allow a second chance to recover. So drivers need to be extra careful about the pace of their challengers, especially on the corners, as unnecessary pace will surely offer a ride through the gravel. Currently, the lap record is held by the 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, and this may be some kind of black spot in Verstappen's career, as the lap record of his home circuit is held by his biggest rival inside the track. Last year, we saw people from 3 different teams on the podium, and the local boy Verstappen was able to win the race for the second time in Raw. If Verstappen can execute the plans without a problem, he will surely extend that winning streak up to 3. Even though Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton and Perez were behind Verstappen, we can expect some surprises from Norris, Piastri and Alonso, as they are in great rhythm this season. At the latter stage of the first half of the current season, McLaren showed unexpected improvement, but Aston Martin a decline. If all the teams have done their homework well during the summer break, we can expect closer competition between Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren and Aston Martin. Red Bull challengers had maintained a considerable performance gap with the rest of the field before the summer break, and we can hope that the Austrian team will maintain their status without any considerable challenge. However, Checo's second place in the drivers' standings is currently under threat, as he showed a huge decline in the latter part of the first half. He is still at an easily beatable margin for Alonso and Hamilton. However, we are too early to predict anything, and most of the teams will surely hide their true power until the qualifying. Tyre strategy is a key point that we should pay attention to, as the right tyre combination is very essential to wield some successful results. Pole sitter and race winner Verstappen started the race on soft tyres and switched to medium at the end of 18 laps. Then, he had a brief run on hards between lap 48 and 56. He entered the pit lane for the third time to switch into softs for his final run. Russell, who finished the race behind Verstappen, used a medium-hard, medium and soft combinations using a 3-stop strategy. But Leclerc followed a strategy similar to Verstappen by starting the race with softs and then switching to mediums, hards and again to soft compounds using a 3-stop strategy. But Hamilton followed a different strategy compared to the podium finishers by attaching to a 2-stop plan that didn't use soft compounds. But Perez went again for a 3-stop strategy similar to Verstappen and Leclerc. When analysing the previous year's results, it's clear that a 3-stop strategy that allows 2 stints on soft compounds was able to produce some effective outcomes. However, we should not forget that the outcome of last year's race was greatly affected by a full safety car session and a virtual safety car session, which allowed some drivers to go for an extra pit stop. In a normal race condition, a 2-stop strategy would be handy under a soft medium-hard combination. The race in Zandvoort will be held under the normal race format that compromises of 3 practice sessions, followed by a qualifying session and the main race. After considerable disturbances from rain over the last few race weekends, we can expect a dry race weekend with a low chance of rain. However, there is a small probability for the rain in Sunday evening, with cloudy conditions. Other than that, we can expect mild and mixed conditions throughout the race weekend, with an average temperature of around 18 degrees Celsius. Those are the most essential things you need to know about this race weekend in the Netherlands. However, we feel really sorry for Nick de Vries, another local boy who lost the race seat before his home race in the debut season. Everything is set for racing at Zandvoort, and let's keep hopes about a closer competition between top teams. Who will be the 3 podium finishers in this season? Can you guess it? Share your answers in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to our channel to get more exciting Formula 1 news. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.